I was out for I was out back mowing the yard, and it was gritty and dirty, and the mower was blowing stuff up in the air, and it's come back at me, and it's 95 degrees out there, and as I'm riding the lawnmower, I'm thinking about all the work I can get done today, all the yard work. Get out, bug. There's a little buggy in here bothering me. I think I brought him in from outside. Anyway, I came in. I'm in our front living room. One thing we do in our house, the front part of our house was built probably a lot of people don't realize it, but this house is pretty darn old. The front part of the house was built in the original structure, 1818. The original structure was 1818, and it's had, of course, parts and pieces, replaced and fixed and added to, and all that good stuff. And I can get under the house and I can see old, huge, hand-hewn logs. The walls are kind of thick. But anyway, the back part of the house is much newer. I think the back part of the house was probably built in the 1930s, maybe the 1940s, maybe the 1920s. I don't know. But the back part of the house was built after the front part of the house was about 100 years old, or 120, no, about 100. Yeah, I don't know, 120 years old already at that time. So there are times, like during the wintertime or during a hot summertime, that we don't utilize the front part of the house as much as the back part of the house, because the for heating purposes, the back part of the house stays much more what do you want to say, warmer than the front part of the house. So to cut our electric bill in half, or our gas bill in half, we just heat the back. And then in the summertime, we we have ceiling fans in each room up here. But anyway, got some high ceilings in there too. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but these ceilings are pretty darn high. Anyway, I've got some boxes and stuff stored here, but that's the front window. Whoop. I dropped it. And back here behind me is one of the fireplaces, and mantle, but just got some stuff there. But anyway, being 95 degrees outside, I just didn't want to go back out there. I was thinking about my neighbor. My neighbor across the street over there, kind of catty cornered back over that way. He was out there working on his vehicle, and just for some reason he couldn't breathe, and didn't have energy, and his wife took him down to the hospital, and they said, maybe it's heat stroke, maybe it's something else, maybe it's this or that. So they gave him some medication to kind of help relax him, and and help his breathing. And went home, didn't get better. Took him back to the hospital, and they kept him down at the hospital, and he passed away. Um, they haven't said it was anything other than heat. Who knows? You know, it could be something else that got a hold of him pretty quick. But when I was out there working on the yard and it was so hot, you know, the only thing I could think of really was, you know, him. He may have been out there and just didn't realize he was, you know, as hot as he thought he was. You know, because most people when they get out there, you know, they're going to sweat. I get out there and I sweat. I come in with my socks and underwear soaked with sweat, my shirt and my pants, my hat, you know, just soaked. But when you have heat stroke, you kind of, you know, your body reacts differently to the heat. You stop sweating, and for some reason, you don't think you're as hot as what you really are. And then because you have stopped sweating, you know, your body's not trying to cool itself down. And then, you know, it ends up being too late. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. I think that guy was like 10 years younger than me. Now he's gone. You know, and it's just the way things are, I guess. You know, just one minute somebody's there and the next minute they're not. They're gone. So, anyway, I decided not to do any more yard work today. I did do some mowing, and it was very hot. And decided to come in and sit down and sit under the ceiling fan up there and, you know, just wait until tomorrow morning. It'd probably be 75 degrees in the morning, but it's much better than nearly 100 degrees. And the humidity is just horrendous. One thing about Tennessee, I live in the state of Tennessee. The one thing about Tennessee is, yeah, it gets hot, but there's a lot of humidity. It's very, very humid. And we've had a lot of rain lately, a lot of storms. And, you know, before those storms get to you or get here, the humidity is just overwhelming. You know, so if you're thinking about moving to Tennessee, you need to keep that in mind. It gets really rough. And the mosquitoes, whew, man, the mosquitoes are horrible. Mosquitoes love my elbows. I've got sweet elbows. The mosquitoes love to munch on them. So anyway, I'm relaxing in here and just hanging out. I'll talk to you later, man. Make sure you don't get overheated out there in that heat.